Hi, this is Tabitha with Nashville Computer Guru, and I'm making a video to kind of show how scammers work, kind of what their MO is, their techniques. And the reason I'm doing that is I've now seen hundreds, if not thousands, of scammer calls and seeing them log into computers and kind of watched how they scam their victims. And I think it's important to know how they work, to be educated on it, and in turn educate others how these kind of scams progress. So right here is a fake pop-up. It's just a JavaScript. There's no actual infections on the computer, but I get a lot of calls from people saying that they got an ad. Well, a lot of times what these places do is they buy domains, and then domains that are commonly misspelled. And when you go to it, so you put like an extra O on Yahoo or something simple and could easily happen. And then all of a sudden you get this pop-up saying that you're infected. In fact, before I recorded this, there's actually a voice that says, "Warning, your computer is infected." And it definitely wants you to call this number. Well, Microsoft never would do this. This is not an actual Microsoft company. It is a scam company. Basically, like all these numbers mean nothing, but it gets a lot of people to call. When these people call, the scammers will want to remote in, so they'll walk you through how to remote into the computer, and they'll try to get you scared. And so what I've done is kind of gather a list of the common things that they would do. Oftentimes they only do about 2 or 3 of these, but I'm going to do all of them. Say that I'm a scammer, and so I'm really gonna convince you. You're really skeptical that your computer's infected, so I'm gonna do the whole 9 yards here, and prove to you that your computer's infected. Of course, what I'm going to show you, I will then go back and explain why it was nonsense and how these scammers really take on your lack of computer technology, the terms, kind of the tools that are on the computer, and they use it against you because they assume you don't know what they're talking about, so they can say anything. And in the end, you'll just pay the money because you're now convinced that your computer is infected when really the whole time you weren't. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to act like I'm a scammer, and I'm going to start proving to my victim that their computer is messed up. So I'm going to run a scan for viruses, and while that is working, I'm going to check to see how many hackers have connected to this computer or that are actively connected right now. Else. Oh, this is not good. See all these error messages that are on the computer? This shows that your computer is having lots of problems. It's definitely full of error messages and warnings. Yeah, we need to be very careful here and fix that. But don't worry, I can fix each and everything that is wrong with the computer. let's check here. And so the computer found that all these lines here are infected files. So we will need to repair those, possibly quarantine them. Running another scan here. And this is shows that the computer is very corrupted. See the status on these, they show stopped instead of running. That is not good. They should be all running. So we will need to get on the computer, get on there and repair Windows as well. And in your computer said that an infection is found there. So let's take a look at what files are actually infected. So there is a lot of files here that are all infected. We'll have to take care of that, but I can do each and everything. So I'm also going to check another location and look at, oh wow, there's a lot of corrupted files here. A lot of corrupted files. And as you can see, it's just gibberish. So we're going to need to repair those files, possibly restore them from a backup, or recover them from some other source. Not good at all. Yeah, very corrupted files. So what we'll do is repair the files, restore the security, fix internet holes and network settings. We will put on security programs. We will fix each and everything. There's a one-time charge. It is $200, 3 years, $350, 5 years, $500, or unlimited for all devices for each and everything for $700. And then at this point, the scammer, I'm now not talking, I'm not the scammer anymore. The scammer will try to get your credit card information. They'll ask for your name, phone number, that kind of stuff, and they'll take your credit card and then they'll charge you for it. The problem with all this was this is all lies. It's all lies. For instance, this is msconfig. It is quite normal and actually be quite alarming if everything showed as running on the computer. So these are just services that your computer uses in the background. Completely 100% normal for some to be running and some to be stopped. There's nothing there at all to be concerned about. And then when I showed you Event Manager, or Event Viewer, so the Event Viewer, that's normal, showing you all the error messages and warnings. Every computer has this. Believe it or not, like, it looks like my computer's in bad shape. This is only a day old. I'm running a virtual machine, which runs on top of my actual Windows. So when I scam bait, or I basically mess with scammers to waste their time, when they get on my computer, they can do anything to it, and it won't ruin it because I have snapshots, so they can do anything to it at all, and I can just go back to a previous time, and it was like it never happened. But every computer has warning and errors. even straight out of the box. And unfortunately, some of my clients will find this, and they become overly alarmed that their computer is in bad shape, and it is nothing to worry about. Every blue moon, I will find some event in there actually is helpful, that may help me diagnose a real problem, but more often than not, it is not as useful as it may sound. Also here is a prefetched folder. Basically anything that's used on the computer or is used regularly kind of goes in there. It's just a way that the computer can speed up the process. So it's a very normal and good thing. There's nothing wrong or corrupted at all with it. Oh, and then when I did INF infected, INF just will open up the INF folder. It's a normal folder. It's a good folder to keep. You don't want to delete it. But you can type in any word after it and it still opens up the same folder. So sometimes they will say, type in INF infected, and people think that those are the list of files that are infected. When in reality, you can do INF Nashville and it opens up the exact same folder. So what you type after it means nothing. And then on here, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll copy and paste words on here, and it will say like infection and found. That no such thing. There's not a built-in virus scan in command prompt. All I did was run dir/s. That shows all the files and folders on the computer, but it just goes by really fast, so it makes victims think that their computer actually is being scanned when it means nothing. And this right here, all those little lines, this is just the tree command. It's just type in tree. Same thing like dir/s, but instead of showing you the files in kind of boring format, it just puts a little tree with little branches on there, so it just looks prettier. Same thing, same concept, but a lot of times these technicians or scammers will claim that they're scanning your computer for infections, and they most definitely are not. And then of course they always open up Notepad, and that's how they'll talk to you. And then if you give them grief, like if you don't pay them, sometimes they'll hang up on you, but sometimes they may get kind of angry at you because you wasted their time. So what they'll do, and I have seen this done to an elderly couple, it's called syskey. What syskey does is it encrypts your whole entire computer. What they'll do is they'll do update and password on startup, and then they'll type in a password here. Once they do that, your computer is basically locked. If you were to restart your computer, it's going to ask for a password, and the scammers will require you to pay them to get it, and it's even likely that if you paid them, they still won't give you the password, but who knows. But I do know everyone that has been syskeyed, I have not had any luck with getting their computer back, other than having to format it, reinstall Windows, and basically starting over as if it were a fresh computer. So this is a very dangerous thing, and not all scammers will go there, but some will. So that is why scambaiters who basically call these numbers and waste their time, we will either syskey yourself, or we have them on virtual machines, so it doesn't even matter if they syskeyed us. We'll just go back to a previous snapshot and it's back to normal. But you can't do that if it's your actual computer, so hopefully that never happens. But I hope that I was able to describe kind of how scammers work, their MO. They have various techniques, and most of the time they only do a couple of these, and they'll test you out, like kind of see how you feel. And if they feel like they have you hooked, they'll go straight into payment. But I kind of did a little of everything that I've seen them do, and I'm sure there's other ones that I've missed, but I've seen hundreds, if not thousands, of these scammers in action. And if you ever see a scammer either call you and say that they're Microsoft and that your computer is infected, you're being scammed, feel free to send me their phone number, kind of explain what it was. If you ever get a pop-up, text me or somehow send me the phone number. And there is a team of people from around the world, hundreds of people. Actually, technically, there's like 20-some thousand, but only a couple hundred are very active in it. And we waste their time. We call them, and basically, while they're busy with us, they cannot actually handle a real victim. And the average victim is 60 years old, and it's about $600 is the average amount. I know I have clients that have been scammed out of $300, $600. One guy paid $1,200, and all for lies. Basically, just all to scare you, and it's really sad. It's truly sad, and so that's kind of what we do is we get back at them. We waste their time. We call them out. We watch them do their thing, and then we call them out on their scams and tell them that that JavaScript pop-up cannot detect viruses. They'll never tell you that, but all it is just pop-up. You're fine. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.